Hi everyone, it's one of your favorite female filmmakers, Erin Lawrence, and I thought I would start my first edition of Filmmaker Friday with myself and a little bit of my history about why I went into film production. So I thought I'd start with myself first and why I went into film. I started my film journey actually when I was a extra on a movie called Vigilante. That was directed by Baron Reisman, and shout out to Baron because he actually got me into the filmmaking bug. I remember being on that set, and it was my first time seeing that in person, and I just adored it. I loved every minute of it. I loved being on set. I've always been a theater person. I've been on stage since I was about a baby. And I've always loved telling stories. When I was an actress, I went to college and the theater program scared me at Missouri State University. It was a really, really intense program. I felt like I was not ready for that kind of program, so I decided to go into film instead. So I thought that maybe one day, if an actress called out, maybe I could step in. And lo and behold, to me, that actually never happened. I ended up falling in love with the camera. I fell in love with the production side. At Missouri State University, to me, they have one of the best film programs. I started right away with the camera in my hand. One of my first classes was how to operate a Canon, and that was really cool to me. I proudly stand by that program, and I'm a proud alumni of that program, and I will always be a proud alumni. My career actually, after I graduated, I graduated during the pandemic, and that was a setback. I won a BA award for my short film Minstrel, and I was really proud of that. It was the first time we showed a bare ass on film, I think, at the school. I think that was the first time nudity was kind of introduced, and I'm really proud of that for being a little scandalous. Shout out to Professor Maybe because he actually told me that comedy was one of the hardest things to do, and that room ended up laughing. And I feel very proud of that. Yeah, I graduated during the pandemic, and then I ended up having to move back to KC. But then it turns out that Baron was still making films, so I started on Baron's films, and then I got to me, one of the best opportunities of a lifetime. I ended up shooting a documentary, a reality TV series, a docu-series about entrepreneurship called Blocks. And I've never been more proud of a work in my entire life. I think that work will change lives, and it can change lives. It changed my life. I've seen it change over 1,000 entrepreneurs' lives. I've never been more proud of every single one. Every single person that came onto that set, I made sure that I protected. I treated them like my own children. And so I still think of them as my own children. And if any one of them needed any type of advice about what to do going forward, they could always call and text me, please. I'd love to hear from any of them. It's 10 years now since I have stepped foot onto that Missouri State University campus in 2016, and now it's 2026. Going forward in my career, I've never been so happy with where it's going forward. Sure, like the film industry is a little rocky right now, but I think it can come back. It will come back stronger, and it will come back with more females, more minorities, more people represented, because that's what we need behind the camera as God. We need that representation behind the camera. Of all genders, all walks of life, all religion, I think everybody should have the ability to tell those stories behind a real camera. Will I act again on stage? Will I perform again? Maybe. But I love this path so much, and I don't want to stop. I never want to stop. I never want to stop telling stories.